estimated 20 hectare of the sea was prepared with the both side sea dike, and we are dumping and dispose all the dredge material at that side. Next. And the volume is checked by all the dredge material is moved with the dump trucks, and volume is changed at the site. Okay, next. And other work, usually for the rehabilitation or the protection of the embankment, we are using the concrete sheet pile. And this is the concrete sheet pile. Concrete sheet pile, we are using the length is around 10 meter to 18 meters. Next. And this one, you are showing the driving the concrete sheet pile with the vibrator, vibro hammer or the diesel hammers. Show the driven piles. Next. And after the pile driving, we have the capping beam here, like this, and okay. Next. And it's showing the old after the capping beam, it's showing how the sheet pile driving work here, the final work here. Okay. Next. And in some place we have the double sheet pile, the outside sheet pile to protect some collapse of the outside sheet pile. We drive the sheet pile inside the channel. Next. Not only the channel is a kind of the small retention reservoir, and we say the waduk malati, and we dredge it out all this waduk also. The next. And it's showing the dredging work at the waduk. Also we use the barges to move the dredged material to the temporary disposal site. Okay,
time is running. If
yeah,
you
okay.
Summarize.
Okay,
Yeah.
then now I want to tell the government and all the many organizations now make the plans and doing the activities to reduce the flood in Jakarta. And among that one, our project, one of the project, and there are many other projects, and I want to tell you about now NCICD, the project. That one is the National Capital Integrated Coastal Development Project. That one was supported. It will supported by the Netherlands and the Korean government. And in our expectation, the flood problems, it was very serious, but now with this kind of the flood mitigation activities, the situation is improving year by year, and it will solve there. Thank you very much for your attention for this project. Thank you.
Hello again.
In second time on the floor,
Yes.
is the lucky man, but I think the time is too late. I believe that also he will be summarize his presentation as soon as possible.
I will try my best. Since our subject is fostering development of construction industry, I would like to give you information concerning urban transformation in Turkey, which has its own legislation. In May 2012, transformation of areas under disaster risk law came into effect. We also call this law as urban transformation law. The law defines itself like that. The purpose of the law is to establish related procedures and principles to perform improvement, evacuation, and renovation activities in order to provide healthy and safe living areas that conform to technical and engineering norms and standards in areas under disaster risk, as well as in other plots and lands where risk structures are located. If we summarize this law with one sentence, it simply says, if the building is risky, it will be demolished and rebuilt. So I believe that this demolished and rebuilt terms have certainly drawn your attention. Well then, why was such a law was needed? The answer is disaster risk, of course. Unfortunately, when it comes to disasters, Turkey has had rather bad experiences. The first risk is earthquake risk. Turkey is one of the most seismically active regions in the world. 70% of Turkey's population live in high earthquake risk areas. 66% of total area of Turkey is located on active fault zones, and 64 of losses and 75 of damaged buildings in all disasters in the last century have been caused by earthquakes. And the second risk is flood risk. Losses to the floods accounts for 15% of total disaster losses. Annual average loss is more than 100 billion US dollars. And the third one is landslide risk. 25% of land are subject to landslides. 11% of population lives on these lands. And in disasters, 16% of total disaster losses is caused by landslides. Estimated economic losses due to disasters in the last decade amount to more than 1 billion US dollars annually for Turkey. So Turkey is ranked sixth in the world of annual frequency of earthquakes with magnitude above 5.5 on Richter scale. And Turkey is on third place in the world regarding loss of life due to disasters with approximately 950 persons annually. This is the map of Turkey, and the red area indicates first degree earthquake zones. 75% of industry and 55% of population are located on this zone. If we look to Istanbul as an example, we are expecting 7.7 magnitude earthquake in next 30 years. And according to senior studies in 2012, such earthquake will cause 60,000 buildings will be collapsed and 70,000 persons will lose their lives. Total financial loss will exceed 40 billion US dollars. So we have to do something. That's why we need such a law. Another question is, what is a risky structure? Again, the law defines risky structure as any structure inside or outside risky areas which completed its economic life or has a risk of collapsing or suffering damage according to scientific and technical data. Here, scientific and technical data is very important. So who will decide it is risky or not? The law foresees that such scientific and technical inspections and evaluations are to be performed by ministry itself, municipalities, and licensed institutions. So if we look implementation of the law, there is some phases. The first phase is request for the inspection. Any homeowner can request for inspections. For example, there is a building, maybe there is 20 house units, it doesn't matter, only one homeowner, if request, this inspection must be done, and with licensed institutions. The second stage is inspection stage. The licensed institutions take samples from the building and prepare a report pursuant to the relevant legislations and submits that report to relevant urban transformation directories. The third stage is approval of report. The directorate reviews those reports, and if the report says it is risky and it is acceptable for those directorates, they send a relevant notification to the land register office. It is important because the land register office knows that this building is risky. So then land register offices notifies all homeowners, and they give some certain time for demolition or objection. Because in sometimes some homeowners don't want demolition and they have objections, so there is an objection stage. If there is an objection, a committee is set up with 7 persons in each case, 4 from universities, 3 from ministry, and they are giving the last decision and the final decision. In some cases, the structure is risky, but no need to demolish. Maybe reinforcing is enough. In this stage, instead of demolishing, reinforcing procedures starts. But if demolition process is decided, it will be followed by municipalities, and they are really following that. They are stopping all services, they are stopping electricity, water, gas, and in a certain time, that building must be demolished. Then the last stage is, of course, reconstruction. And for that, 2/3 of the homeowners must be agreed with a contractor, and so in this case, reconstruction will occur. Otherwise, the land